Pray interview series, and I have Jeff Cuthbertson. I was joking with him and telling him that his name sounds very much like a Matrix character. So I'm really excited to get to know him a little bit better. He's on the big red couch. So definitely let us know, who are you and what's your grind pray?
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cuthbertson. Thank you for having me on the big red couch. I am the lead counselor for MPACT Counseling.
Awesome. And what does MPACT do, or what do you want to be known for doing?
MPACT Counseling is a place where someone can get inspired, motivated, and empowered to handle any mountains that they come across in their life.
Inspired, empowered, and motivated.
Yes.
Those are all key words. So how do y'all do that?
So we do it by many forms. We can do it by individual counseling sessions. We can do it by going to speaking engagements, and we can do it by hosting conferences.
So you're a speaker?
Yes.
Awesome. So
yes,
what subject matter do you find yourself speaking on a lot?
Inspire me, motivation, and empowerment.
Okay. But in what respect? Like, do you find yourself speaking to men? Or?
So I'm actually called to broken men. Men who deal with mental health issues, men whose hearts been broken through careers.
We all got broken hearts.
We all do. Yes, we do.
Okay.
Relational heartaches or anything of that nature.
Awesome. So when it comes to being a speaker, being a counselor, all of that, like how does this message of Grind Pray tie into that?
Oh man, I was just sitting there looking at your IG page before I came on, and Grind Pray is an amazing statement. When you see it, it's like, okay, I gotta grind. You hear everyone saying, I gotta grind, I gotta grind, I gotta grind. But without prayer, that grind is nothing. You can easily say, Lord, I need to pass this test. But if you don't study for that test, you're falling short. So, Grind Pray is an amazing, amazing statement when I see it.
So can I ask you a personal question?
Of course.
Have you had any mental health issues?
Yes.
All right, let's share it.
Yes.
I want to hear it. That's what the Spirit gave me to ask you, because I have been like a spokesperson for, I may not look like I have, or I have experienced mental illness, but it's because I know what mental health is supposed to be that I'm not mentally ill.
Right.
You know, so really normalizing professionals, the strong people that are dealing with and managing their mental health. And I really cannot stress enough, guys, mental health is not the same thing as mental illness.
Correct.
When we're speaking to mental health, we're speaking to fitness and diet and all this stuff. So share your testimony on mental health.
So, and it's funny that you asked, because actually what started MPACT. Imagine growing into alcoholism, a generational curse, and growing into it. And being dealt with that generational curse, and then having life hit you in the mouth while you're dealing with that generational curse. And one of the things that one of the big impacts that hit me was a divorce. On top of that divorce, that led me to depression and anxiety, and just deeper into that alcoholism. So it was amazing how I saw myself get out of that situation. And now I just want to pour into any individual, especially men, who dealing with that.
How long have you been doing MPACT?
So MPACT's been going for about 2 years now.
Okay, cool.
I have been speaking to broken men for about 13 years as a probation officer.
Awesome. And so is that work that you still do, or are you
Yes.
giving it up to totally still do?
I'm allowing probation to be the vehicle for MPACT. So
awesome.
yes.
So how's it going?
Probation's amazing. It's almost
no, not the probation. I'm sorry, the MPACT.
Oh, it's going amazing.
It is?
It's going amazing. It's going faster than I thought it was going to go.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
Because people now have a place to go. People now have someone to call, and someone that they can say, well, he's been through what I've been through, and he has the passion ignites passion. So if I give you my passion, it's going to give you the passion to move forward.
So can I ask another question?
Of course, please do.
How? For us that literally had nothing but the Holy Spirit Academy to guide and shape their business, because it is mission-based, how are you putting the word out? How are you charging for your services? Not to delve into pricing too much, but just inquiring minds want to know, what does that model look like? Obviously, you're a speaker. Do you get charged? I'm going to ask you everything so you can respond to everything. But as a speaker, are you charging for that? As a counselor, because you're not state funded, how do you charge for that? What's your process? Because I personally want to know, and I'm sure if I want to know, our viewers want to know.
So to be honest with you, I'm solely relying on the kingdom. And when I say that, if you look at our emblem or my logo, the M is a mountain. I'm here to help you move that mountain. The T is a cross with biblical perspectives. So I am kingdom led. If you look on my IG page, you will see a prayer every single morning. So I don't ask for financial gain. I truly believe that the kingdom will provide in many ways. So when I sit down with you and you come to me and you say, hey, I want a motivational session, I don't like calling them life coaches or calling myself a life coach or as individual counseling. I call them motivational sessions, because when you leave there, you're motivated to tackle that mountain, whether it's money, whether it's relationship, or whether it's career wise. I sit down with you. The first session is free. The next one we discuss what you can afford. How does this look for you? Because again, I do have bills. We do have bills. But again, my heavenly Father will take care of me. So
do you do fundraising? Do you accept private donations?
I'm looking into doing fundraisers and doing private donations, looking into investments. But mostly I'm looking into the soul of that individual.
Do you again with a personal question, do you find yourself financing a lot of this? Do you still work full time?
Yes, I do work full time. Yes,
very fortunate.
Yeah.
Self-employed for like 4 years, and you see these gray hairs coming. Yeah, the grind is real. Awesome, but that's amazing, and the fact that you're so on fire right now. I think when I share this, I'm definitely gonna repeat you by saying passion ignites passion. That's phenomenal. So what's the vision? Not just for impact, but for your life and your ministry and your family. What type of impact are you hoping? Do you have children?
Yes, I do have a 7-year-old son.
Okay, awesome.
And
So
a beautiful wife.
Okay, yes, very beautiful. So what's that vision look like? What's that vision that God's given you?
To be when someone thinks of motivation, right now everyone thinks of E.T. Eric Thomas.
Oh yeah.
Everyone thinks of him. When his time is up, I want to be him. I want that spot.
Okay,
I'm coming for that spot.
Awesome. Have you met him?
I have met him.
You have. What do you think?
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Met him in Chicago, actually.
You did? Okay. I think he's got a friend that I met while I was in Chicago, but don't get me to lie. I'm terrible with the name placement. That's why I was like, when you said E.T., I had to remember visually him yelling at people. And I was like, okay, I totally get it. So is that your style of ministry?
I have a combination of that. Depends on I allow my emotions to carry me.
Okay.
So if I'm in that moment, you might hear me start yelling at you. If we're sitting together, you're gonna hear me just talking a soft tone. But the one thing you will get, no matter what my style is, you will get my passion.
Awesome. So, I can get that from you right here. So what's your daily routine look like? When we talk about grinding and praying, it's an action statement. I love the Lord when He gives an assignment, because it's broad enough where anybody can interpret it, but it's simple enough where everyone can digest it.
Right.
And Grind Pray is faith-based. My company, Building Economic Stability Together, is faith-based, and my mantra is live your best life.
Right.
And that means and takes on various meanings. You are wearing the collaborative shirt. So when it comes to, and a lot of people are moving into this self-help space.
Right.
When it comes to that, when you get up in the morning, what gets you motivated? How does your routine look so that the viewers can kind of take note, either through affirmation, I'm doing that too, or through spiritual knowledge, because I'm big on spiritual education right now. Like, if there's something that they need to know, do share. So what does that look like? How do you juggle father, husband, and impact leader in your community? And you're in Richmond.
Correct. I'm in Richmond.
Are you from Richmond?
I'm actually from South 757 Chesapeake.
Okay. How long have you been in Richmond?
I went to school in VCU. So I've been in Richmond for at least, I'm gonna say 9-10 years.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And on and off.
Gotcha.
But to answer your question, the people don't burn out because of what they do. They burn out they forget why they're doing it. And I make sure that my routine is the same every single day, no matter what. When I get to the office, the first thing I do, I try to be the first one there every single morning. And the first thing I do is my prayer Bible app. I read my plan.
Prayer Bible app.
Yes.
Okay.
I read my plan. It's maybe 2 or 3. And if you like
your plan?
Yes. You know how you go on the Bible app, they have plans for you?
No.
Pull it up.
I have an old school King James Bible in there, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a plan.
Oh, you're reading the doubts and the shouts and the shouts and all of that. Oh, you know the Lord for real.
Right. These and the doubts. Right.
So if you go on, for us people who are not doubts and shouts, we have a plan, a Bible app. And there on that app, it has a plan on it, and it has whatever type of thing that you're dealing with. And it breaks it down for you. It has your devotionals.
Like the Bible app? Like
correct.
One on iPhone?
Yes. Just go to the plans, and it has anxiety, it has divorce, it has addiction, it has entrepreneurs. And it breaks down the devotional, and then it breaks down the Bible verse for you to break through, or to get the faith-based verse a knowledge to it or whatever.
Okay.
So I start off with that every single morning. And then I FaceTime my son before he goes to school. And sometimes we go over our I am statements. And that allows me to remember my why, so I don't get burned out. My wife is my second why. And she FaceTimes me, or not FaceTime me, she texts me all day. So I never forget my why with her. So I never come burned out. So my grind is easy because I start off with my prayer. I start off with my whys. So that's pretty much what I do.
That's your routine.
That's my routine. And when I leave the 9 to 5, I turn into impact mode.
And what's that look like?
So impact mode turns into who's my motivator. Tuesday nights I'm leading a men's group, a life group at the Life Church, 5515 Bryce Lane. Tuesday night 7 o'clock. Come through.
Awesome.
I lead that on Tuesday nights. Now I'm starting to have the motivational sessions after hours, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I'm doing all of that. But I also make sure when I get home that I'm turned off because I'm now a husband.
I was just about to ask you that. You know, being a divorcee, I got married at 16. That's my whole testimony. Oh, wow. So I plan to share that a lot more as a speaker. But being divorced and then dating and then being in relationships where you are not able to turn it off all the time because your finances are tied into this and your passion's tied into it. So it's not like a typical career where you have your 9 to 5 and then you get to 7 to 9 do family time. Right. So what does that quality time without prying, because I know I've asked you some personal questions, I've talked about finances, I've talked about your religion, but like when it comes to balance, real talk, as a man ministering to other men, normally the neglect starts at home sometimes. What safeguards have you put in place to spend that time and give that attention to your wife as needed?
God calls us to love our wives like He loves the church. Yes. So I perceived like that. I died for her. So
do y'all work together a lot?
The first question I asked is, how was your dad? Because I know she's at home, she's an entrepreneur, she's facing the computer, she's doing it, she's answering emails, she's running the meetings, things of that nature. And there's times where she's at home all day. She might not have any human contact other than just a computer. So just me asking her, how was your day? Allows her to express herself. I
can hear the women that are watching this video like, yes. Okay.
And that's me being intentional.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take it doesn't take a lot of men to be a husband, to be there, present with your child, to be present with your wife.
Now, how long have you guys been remarried?
So we got married in February.
Not remarried, but I'm sorry, but married.
Yeah. We got married in February at the Boathouse in Richmond.
Awesome!
So,
congratulations. So y'all newlyweds.
We newlyweds. We got in this.
Cool. So how long was the courting process before y'all got married?
So it's funny that we've known each other. We went to VC together. We've known each other for about 15 years.
Wow.
And I decided to take my shot.
Okay.
One single rose at church.
The
laid it in the car. Laid it in the car, and the rest is history.
Awesome. So how long did y'all date and court? 1 year until y'all were. So can I ask you another personal question?
Please do.
Because this is blessing me. I don't know about y'all, but I got questions.
Please do.
So finances, how did that play in? I mean, you still have your full-time job, but 2 years ago you started MPACT, and I can only assume it had an impact on your finances.
Oh yeah.
So was that a factor in getting married again? No. Speak on it.
You don't when you're kingdom led, you don't allow things to affect you.
Speak on it.
You don't allow you don't allow what you see to determine how you feel. Ooh. You allow your mind to be stronger than your emotions. If you don't, you're gonna lose every single time. So if I go home worried about my money every single day, then I'm not gonna have money. If I speak broke into my life, I'm gonna be broke. But if I speak life into my life, I'm gonna always have victory. So I have no problems with it. No
have you guys, not in this relationship, but have you ever been in a position in your life where you didn't have anything?
Yes.
Any money? Okay,
yes.
Can you speak on that?
After the divorce, I remember moving back with my mother, and the divorce actually pulled me out of the probation job. My mental wasn't even strong enough to be able to pour into these individuals who are dealing with sex offenses and murders and the criminal justice system and law.
So you just shut down.
Yeah, we can talk about the criminal justice system all day long. But if I'm not strong enough mentally to pour in these guys, I just left. Yeah. Literally left. And all I had was
You took a leave or you quit?
I quit.
Oh, wow.
Just pulled myself out of that whole situation. And I was working bartending at Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so I remember sitting in the parking lot and just crying. Men, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be vulnerable.
You know the name of my book, Cry But Don't Quit.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's God. Amen. But I remember just sitting there and looking at my hand and like, all I have is $500. Mm-hmm. All I have is $500.
You blessed if you had $500.
Right. All I had was $500, and I'm sitting. I got a car payment. I got a son. I got the regular bills that everyone deals with, and I just remember going home to my mom and just my mom saying like, "This is not the son I built.
Facts.
This is not the son I made. You need to get yourself together." And after that, it just kept getting better and better and better.
Do you see yourself transitioning out of full-time work to do
of course.
Impact full-time? What's your time frame on that?
I don't have a time frame. I'm allowing God to tell me when.
Okay. Cool.
I'm allowing God to tell me when. I pray about that. I say, God, when it's your time, when it's time, send me where.
Yeah.
Let's go do this. Let's do this thing. So yeah.
Well, you're definitely an inspiration.
Thank you.
I think there's only one ET because my role model in this business is Oprah, and I think there's only one Oprah. But I think that's a great person to shadow after because especially with him. I mean, he has
an amazing story.
But he speaks to so many black men. Every black man that I know listens to him and draws strength from him. But definitely you're gonna find your own unique path. Please share all pages, all like everything. I'm gonna ask your manager to throw your impact shirt so we can have that in frame.
Okay.
Can you get that from him? Is it in the bathroom?
It's in her purse.
Okay, yeah. Let's show them what this T-shirt looks like. So your staff wears this?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now the staff is me and my manager.
Okay, awesome. Humble beginning. So this is what it looks like, guys. Right. This is the logo.
Yes, and
can you
share
the? Yeah,
I was saying that the M is a mountain.
Okay.
Again, you come to be inspired, empowered, and motivated to move whatever mountains in your life, whatever it is, maybe personal, financial, or economically, anything. And if you notice, the T is actually a cross. So I definitely lead with biblical perspective.
Awesome. So it's faith-based. Awesome. Do you use scripture when you are...
I do. Yeah. Or I'll send someone home and say, hey, meditate on this, and when we come back, we can sit down and talk about it.
Awesome.
Tell me what did you feel about it, or what did you hear when you hear that.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, definitely share all platforms, how they can follow you, how they can find out and access your services.
The best way to follow me is on Instagram. It's at MPACT with an M, PACT Counseling. That's on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook because I'm not cool enough to be on Facebook. But I am. That's the best way to follow me. My website is www.impact, again with an M, counseling.org. And you will be able to see all my emails, my cell phone number. You'll be able to book me. You'll be able to ask me to be an individual counseling sessions or the motivational sessions I like to call them. You can find all of that on both of those pages.
So you said it's impact.org?
Yes, .org.
Impact, just like it's spelled, .org for your website?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jeff, for sharing that. That was an amazing interview.
Thank you.
I'm honored. Is this your first?
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of? Not quite. All right. Well, not a first, but definitely.
It's my first that's live like this. I've done a podcast before.
Oh, okay.
I've done one on the camera.
Awesome. Well, anything, very familiar with Richmond. So if there's anything that we can swing your way as far as support, since that's when I started my company. That's the city I started it in, and we're super supportive. So until next time, guys, you close us out. So this message of grind, pray.
All right.
You got something motivational.
You guys have a great day, and remember, Impact Counseling is here. If you understand that elevation requires separation, remember that elevation requires separation. In order to elevate, you must separate from your past.
Awesome. Grind, pray, guys. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
People like grind, pray, grind, pray.